G'day everyone, welcome to our FOGS Queenslander Podcast review of Origin 1. Once again, it was another Origin classic, but unfortunately, Queensland finished on the wrong side of the ledger. I'm joined once again by Wally Lewis, Trevor Gillmeister and Matt Gillett. Gentlemen, initial reactions to the 22-20 loss?
Where do you start? I mean, geez, the start for us was fantastic. Obviously, the Caleb Ponga situations, you know, obviously the headlines and stuff like that. So, I mean, yes, everyone's going to have their two bobs worth about why you should have been sent off, you shouldn't have been sent off. We'll
talk about that in depth in a moment, but it was another classic game. Were you at 20-0? What were your thoughts about Queensland?
I was clapping. I was bowing. I was going, but New South Wales initiated all that because of their drop ball, didn't they? And they play the ball. I think they had 5 in a row.
From some experienced players too, with Tyre. And
exactly.
Yeah, Critter,
twice.
Twice.
Exactly. So I mean, they brought that on themselves as well. So and we scored a couple of really amazing tries as well. But the big thing, I think, defensively, how good were we? Especially that first, 20, 25 minutes. I thought our defence was superb.
Walt, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a good... the discipline that they displayed after the start of the match was quite extraordinary. I thought New South Wales were doing quite well to hold them out and deny them some good field space. But when sitting down, there's probably not too many other things they're going to cover except the end of the game for Queensland. So discipline is a remarkable thing, and it can't be ignored in matches of this importance. 23
minutes before the end of the game was the send-off, 57th minute I think it was, for Kalyn Ponga, sent from the field, the 7th player to be sent from the field. Even at that stage, I had the feeling that New South Wales was starting to get themselves back in the game and Queensland run to the pump. It made it almost impossible with 12 men at that level, fair to say, to keep a side as good as New South Wales out.
Oh, without a doubt. Mate, it's hard enough at club level.
And they got to within 80
men.
seconds.
Well, it's at club level, mate. Most teams get beaten. 13 against 12. I mean, let alone Origin, when the game's like twice as fast. I mean, it's so frustrating, when you're sitting back and watching it, all unfold and you got a good view of everything and stuff. And when you're at the game, actually, you miss a lot when you sometimes. But I mean, I was filthy. But anyway. I'm glad I haven't got a dog.
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be down there and got home early this morning. But, obviously those, 12 men down, our boys were scrambling really well. Obviously you don't see a lot of the off-the-ball stuff and the movements, the extra commitment that, our fullback at the time was Hammer. So, his movements, putting himself in the line, making sure, putting himself in that right spots to show up. So, it was impressive to see. The boys played a lot of heart and pride, but to hold them out, and obviously they scored right on the hooter there, which is
James
Tedesco, the hammer doing the hammer what he's done to so many fullbacks himself. While your thoughts on the send-off?
For decades, we've seen it almost reach another level at State of Origin, where in club football they'd probably get sent off. Origin, they don't take the same action. Was it dangerous? Well, it was high, but after having seen a couple of tackles in State of Origin previously.
Was he looking at me then?
I just said a couple of tackles in Origin.
They weren't intentional, but
we might have all been Gilly.
No. So it was. I think it spoiled a wonderful match, and it will be an argument that will continue for decades to come.
Can someone tell me that did Ashley Klein override the bunker? Oh, that's what I was told.
Yeah, it was his call. And look, from a purely refereeing perspective, I suppose I have no problems with the referee on the field who's been appointed to do the job, his job.
Mark, you know what they say all the time on the field? Oh, it wasn't my fault.
No,
it
I
was the
understand
bunker.
that.
Come
I know.
The bunker. The bunker.
I know, and that's
the
why
bunker
it was.
ruled on it.
That's why
the bunker.
for him to do that was remarkable.
The bunker ruled on it, mate. It wasn't
Yeah.
my fault.
And
I can't override the bunker. Bullshit, you can't.
And how quickly he took the action.
Yeah.
He didn't waste any time.
He didn't want to
Bang,
listen
you're
to the
gone.
bunker,
Yeah,
did he?
You're off. See ya. Bye.
They're trying to talk over each other.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you can't.
no, my point being
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I like seeing referees make the calls.
100%. Yeah. No,
and
no
I'd rather
worries.
see
I've got-
more of them do that rather than.
But I've got no
relying
worries
on
with
the
that,
bunker.
but they always refer back to the
No.
bunker in
Yeah.
those situations.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of the time, they rule with the bunker. So he's just gone off on his own tangent and done his own shit.
Well, let's look at some positives from the game. What was the biggest positive from a Queensland perspective, do you think?
Oh, yeah, it was our first 20 minutes. I think it was outstanding. Well, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it certainly was, and I thought Sam Walker was terrific.
Yeah.
And the way that he guided Queensland around, it was almost as if he was in control, telling the players where to go, when, what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a wonderful introduction into Origin footy from him, and certainly one that would have pleased Billy. And he's probably, despite the disappointment, going to be able to sit back and think, well, we've got plenty to work with for the remaining games.
Yeah, 2 try assists, 4 from 4 in the first 20 minutes.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
bad.
Didn't look like it was his debut, to be honest.
No,
He'd been
he,
there for 10 games. He looked
yeah.
right at home, and that's what he's got people in camp. Obviously, the experienced players around him all week to get him right. But you've got Jonathan Thurston there. That's quite a handy player,
Alf.
and Alfie there.
yeah.
Both those two Queensland legends to lean on and give him advice through the week. So no doubt he would have been coming into that game knowing.
Yeah, it's
what to do,
fantastic
when
the
to
way
do.
he displayed his own game. He wasn't trying to play a different game to fit into the team. It was his form on display, and it was a wonderful.
It's amazing he did, there's a couple of kicks, for tries, like the little grubbers and stuff like that. Then obviously New South Wales return serve, didn't they, a couple of times with
I
it.
think it was 4 tries from kicks there.
Yeah.
Another thing to Sam Walker's game, in that Kalen Ponga incident, he was the one making the tackle, chased down Kohler to make that tackle. He would have made the tackle into touch and Ponga came across.
Yeah.
So Sam Walker, not only in attack, they put a bit of traffic at him at times too. It was a wonder. And if Queensland wins, I think he's the player of the match.
I thought he was huge too, Selwyn Cobbo.
Yep.
He was, some of his, obviously the second, third carries, when we get the ball back, he was punching through the line, found his front, I think nearly every time.
Yeah.
And he's quick play the ball, so I thought that was...
As a forward, you're going, thank you, Selwyn.
And Jojo
back behind the ball,
Fafita.
Yeah,
Very
I think all the debutants.
Max Platt.
Looked Max Plath, yeah. All
For
the
the right
debutants,
at home.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, there are some things for Queensland heading into Game 2 in Melbourne. They look at and say, well, okay, we picked these blokes and they all stood up.
Yeah. Oh, man, we don't go down on 12 men, we win. There's no doubt about that.
Well, but they're obviously the better side. We play better footy.
100%
Obviously,
right.
the scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but I think Billy and the coaching staff and the players know what they can do. And unfortunate incident there with Ponga, but Game 2, Game 3, let's see what we can bring.
Yeah. Well, as we have a look at some of the stats from the game, a lot of the stats went in New South Wales' favour in that last 20 minutes. Queensland just couldn't get the ball, and when they did get the ball, they weren't able to really get out of their own end. But the first 60, and particularly that first half, was as close to that perfect half of football you want from a team in the first half of Origin that Queensland could produce, leading 20-0.
Yeah, and stats only get you, show you so much, don't they, as well? But and you can't go past them, though, can you? No. You just go, well, I think our first 30 minutes, I don't know, but our first 25, 30 minutes, we hardly missed a tackle, you know what I mean? So obviously
and
they
completed sets.
Yes, exactly right. And we were so disciplined, as Wally said before, discipline, that's the name of the game, especially at that level. And our kicking, I thought, was, pretty good as well. So, yeah, all that stuff was, comes down to they can just hopefully reproduce that next game in Melbourne, and we'll be fine. But it's hard to do that again and again and again.
You wanted to see line speed. You were there. Did you see it?
It was there for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You know, it's one of those games where we just played that simple brand of footy. There's obviously a bit of rain and slippery track out there, so you know that grinding footy and you know those players that we have in our side, especially through that forward pack, and you know they stood up to that in that first half and executed very well. And you know, obviously what Gilly mentioned before about New South Wales, a few errors, but you know you got to capitalise on those errors, and we did, and we scored points. And
but you're right. You said it last time. Our line speed was fantastic, and that brings mistakes, doesn't it, from the opposition because they're having a bit of a Bo Peep at you, and going, oh shit, I don't want to run in that area. That spot, I get hurt if I run in there. You know what I mean, and stuff. And then they okay, I got that over, and they're playing the ball, and they drop the ball and they play the ball sometimes. So I think that's the best thing, putting that doubt in their mind all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wanted to ask you all, and you know, I said if Queensland wins, Sam Walker's the player of the match, and an outstanding performance from Sam. At the back end of the game, Wally, game management, from your perspective, he kicked into touch with about 2.5 minutes to go, a little grubber kick. And in the modern day, that's a play the ball in the middle of the field, time off is called. Calling the game with Moses and Bai, he made the point he would rather have seen a kick into the corner, high kick, to make the New South Wales players get behind the ball.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rule that confuses a lot of people. I mean, the old days you kicked it into touch, you'd burn 30 seconds, 40 seconds. This one, they bring it in while the clock's been stopped, and I suppose you question whether it was the right thing to do, or try and keep it in the field of play as deep and in one corner as possible to try and box them in. So, you know, we can look at it and probably work out half a dozen things that we could have and might have done a little bit differently, but certainly it was a wonderful performance from the Maroons. That one, though, you know, I'm probably not answering your question, but you know, we've also got to remember they're mentally exhausted.
But they're the learnings, aren't they?
Yeah, they do. You're right there, mate. You learn from your mistakes. And whilst it wasn't a real mistake, he had that as a plan to try and burn the clock, but it sort of went the other way.
I think we should have asterisks beside this game somewhere, like like fair dinkum, like that's. I got the shits. Fair dinkum.
Deflating, you know. They win, but New South Wales obviously will go back and obviously understand that what the situation was and where they went wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It was,
and if Ponga doesn't get sent off, how does the game pan out, sort of thing?
We win.
We win quite comfortably.
He's got to reset.
You guys have been in that situation in big games, and say from a New South Wales perspective here now, you go out. And your first 10, 15, 20 minutes, you're dropping the ball, you're not completing sets. I think they were 4 of 9 at one stage, and you're down 20-0. It must just be, what the hell, what are we doing?
They look disjointed, the Blues side, obviously, when those points are getting scored on them. Like, when you walk back from points you got to kick off, they all just look like they're in their own heads, all playing as individuals and probably thinking, going, what's going to happen tonight? This is going to be a shocker. But, obviously things change in the game, and once you get that momentum that we talk about, and it's very easy to get off the back of that and play some good footy. But they did look deflated in that first half, and so it was just one of those games where something's going to happen. And
another discussion point out of that Ponga send-off was the decision from Billy Slater, and it's easy to second guess, but your thoughts on Trent Liero coming out and moving Kurt Capel into the centres rather than using Gemma Chibasaki. We spoke about the 6-man bench and how it's going to be used and pull this cord in case of emergency. Was that the emergency for Gemma potentially to go in the centres to mark Staggs? Was that an area where Queensland may look back on and say, geez, did we do the right thing there?
Well, you get, I suppose,
easy in hindsight. I understand that.
100%. Yeah. And I don't know how many interchanges we had used before then. So maybe he was trying to inject Shibasaki, maybe like.
Well, that was it. Liero was the last one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So once Liero went on, there was no bringing.
That's
Kim out of Resman.
Well, there you go. I thought that must have been the case, but I mean, as you said, hindsight's lovely, and Kurt Capewell has done such a great job in the centres for us when only when needed.
Absolutely.
And
He's
a
been
back
selected
rower.
to play in the centres.
He's exactly. But he's a back rower. We all know that.
Yeah.
But these are the things you look at post.
Oh,
games
yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
for sure. Yeah.
If only.
Yeah. I think Billy would have said, maybe we do a couple of changes. Every coach, every Origin coach would have had that little moment in their head sometimes, and I should have put him on and rather than him or whatever. Yeah, a little bit of a kick in the pants too sometimes is a good thing.
I thought he played well, Katoni Staggs. Gee,
When he got
didn't
the
get
chance,
when he got the chance,
he's an Origin player.
Oh
Yeah.
I'd hate to try and tackle him. He just doesn't want to be tackled. He keeps those arms and legs moving. One player we haven't mentioned who I thought was really good last night after having a disappointing start to the season because his team's not going that great.
Tino. Yeah. How good was that to see too? Like, I think Tino's his personality is. He cares for everyone so much at club level, right? He cares for all his teammates. So he puts all his energy try to help them, or his teammates.
Yep.
And when you come into Origin camp, and I've been in this position myself when I was at the Roosters, that you come in and you go, oh, how good's that?
Yeah.
All I have to do is worry about myself now. I don't have to worry about anyone else. And, and because you look around the room and you go, oh, how good's that?
Yeah.
Look at this team, and you just go, oh, shit, I need to be on myself today because I don't want to let the team down. So I think it's a good thing sometimes.
Let's have a look at obviously Nate Miles. When he put that Maroons jersey on, and a lot of the time I was playing, is a lot of our players in behind closed doors, and I think the things that he was doing when he was playing at club level at the Titans they didn't highlight that what Nate would do, but then in Origin series, he would get highlighted for pretty much the same thing he was doing at the Gold Coast. In that Maroons jersey, showing up, doing all the tough stuff, and that's what Queensland's built on. I think Tino's, probably a quiet start to the year, but I don't think he's changed too much of his game from the Gold Coast into that Maroons jersey. It's just you're around those people, and he's doing all those little things. Better players, and the Titans aren't going well as well.
Well, people feed off the back of what you do, and then everyone goes, "Oh, it was the great run Tino did."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's great to see him playing good footy again.
Yeah. And he's a big man. He's huge.
We still have a few weeks before Origin 2 in Melbourne. So much can happen, as we've seen in years gone past with players picking up knocks or injuries, etc. As we record this, we don't know who's necessarily going to be backing up on the weekend. But I think also out of game number one, unlike, in previous years where, Queensland may have had a slow start to the season, out of those 17 players that took the field, there'd be no reason to be looking to make too many changes, if any at all, I wouldn't have thought.
No.
I mean, they've done nothing wrong. Gillett, Shibasaki and Ezra Mam didn't get on the field, but the other 17 did everything that was asked of them pretty much. And now that Kalen Ponga is not being suspended, he's only been fined. There's no question whether he'd be available.
Is Klein getting fined?
Sorry?
Is Klein
getting fined?
What's happened to him?
A bloke gets sent off and not fined.
Next game?
A match of that importance gets sent off and not fined.
That rhymes, doesn't it?
Klein and fine.
That could be a headline.
Yeah.
But the 17 have done enough to...
Oh, yeah. I don't think you make any changes. And
And as you just said, if a couple of things happen during the next few weeks, someone gets injured or whatever, hopefully we don't in the Queensland team, because every one of them blokes will be a little bit shitty of what happened.
Yeah.
And obviously Reece Walsh, his name's going to be tossed up, through that, and
players coming back, Jeremiah Nanai, will be a little bit fitter.
Yeah.
How soon before Tommy Dearden gets back? But with Sam Walker's performance, you don't have to rush Tommy Dearden back.
No. Well, Tommy wanted it.
We'll want to.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now I know it's from it's a New South Wales player, but I just enjoy seeing young blokes who are given an opportunity doing really well. I thought Ethan Strange was outstanding for New South Wales. He wasn't even going to necessarily get a game.
Yeah.
You would have been impressed with his tackle on Munster. He got right in the ribs.
He's not a real big bloke. He's obviously lightning quick off the mark, especially.
Yeah.
And I think his defence was.
Yeah.
And I reckon. And I still remember he was in my ear all the time. My good roommate Fatty, that was an experience in itself. But always just said to me on my debut was just get your defence right, and then everything else feeds off that. And I think someone said that to Ethan Strange, the way his defence was, and he just dead set tackled everything around him, didn't he? And with a bit of force.
And with the ball, he looked dangerous. Pretty good number 6, Wal.
Yeah. Looked very creative. Worked very well. His support play as well was really good, and it was fairly uncomfortable for Queensland the way that he's fitted in there and just handled it very, very comfortably.
Confidence levels heading into Game 2 in Melbourne.
So
high.
Sorry, you just went. So what happens with Mitch Moses?
Do you bring him back in, or do you?
What would you do?
Well, you can't. You probably can't get rid of Ethan Strange, can you?
I'd be, if I'm a New South Wales selector or if I'm Laurie Daly, I'd be having sleepless nights. But
I'd like to see Nathan Cleary go.
What about that 40-20 he kicked? Oh,
Yeah.
Cleary.
Did it easy.
Nailed
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
easy.
Nailed
Just
it.
easy.
And the New South Wales media the last 3 or 4 years have hammered him, saying he hasn't dominated
We
Origin.
spoke about that in the preview.
And he did anyway.
So confidence levels heading to Melbourne. You've seen enough in Game 1 to suggest that 13 on 13?
We'll be fine,
Okay.
mate. We'll be fine. Yeah. No doubt. Like we said, mate, the incident that happened last night, and we played a pretty good brand of footy last night, and I think Billy will be very happy with that. And obviously a few moments there, a few errors from our side, and a few key moments that we could probably adjust. But the team that we have, very confident to go down to Melbourne and get the job done.
Well, yeah, I think I'm with Gillo. They should go down there with confidence, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not overconfident, but I mean, did try and replicate what they did in that first 20 minutes again, or 25 minutes, whatever it was. But yeah, that's the best performance. I don't know the stats on it, but yeah, the mistake rate for New South Wales and their intent in defence was unbelievable. If they can replicate that for the second game, look out New South Wales.
Yeah, it was marvellous how well they held on with the 12. It was pretty tough, but I think they'll when they sit down to watch that all over again, they'll be inspired by their own performances that were only sort of choked by the numbers on the field. So I think Billy be very happy with what he's seen so far.
Well, Game 1 is in the record books. We look forward to Game 2 down at the MCG. We are back on June 15 with our preview of Origin 2. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, to click like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and you'll be told when our preview arrives. But on behalf of Wally Lewis, Trevor Gillmeister and Matt Gillett, I'm Mark Braybrook. It's goodbye for now. Thanks for watching this episode of the FOGS Queenslander Podcast. If there's a FOG you want to hear from, leave a comment to let us know. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos.